So we have to like what God likes. We need to want to do his will rather than our own. If he says go to a cross, we should go to a cross. If he says you got to deal with a lot of sickness, poverty, and death, destruction around you, then that's what we have to do. It's like a vision I had that I was at a beach one time, and it's like I was sitting in a lawn chair on the beach, and Jesus was sitting in a lawn chair on the beach. And there was a big storm going on with lightning, and it was dark, and I seen these women weeping, and I looked over and there was babies drowning in the water, and then I looked over at these people by these fire barrels like hobos or something, starving. And it kind of shocked me, and I looked at Jesus, and he just said, now it's time to preach and do miracles. So it's like when they get into prodigal son's pig pen, or they come under the judgment of God, some people start to wake up to the truth message, where in times of prosperity, they may be spiritually deaf and spiritually blind to it. Like Jesus said about people from the cross, he said, they don't know what they're doing crucifying me. They're so messed up from sin and confusion and Satan that they want to act wicked and not understand the consequences of it. So, when we think of God using wicked governments to punish us, we can think of Babylon, we can think of Egypt. When Israel was wicked, they were handed over to their enemies for slavery or death. But God can help you through it, like he helped Daniel through Babylon slavery, or helped Joseph through Egyptian slavery. So it's like a worldwide Babylon or something, so like a satanic world empire government trying to control the world for Satan. And God allows them to do that. It's not Satan's fault. It's not God's fault. It's wicked people's fault. If they would do what God wants them to do, they could get the blessings from Deuteronomy 28 instead of the punishments from God from Deuteronomy 28. So it's like God has to punish all these wicked people. Like Jesus said, if you enter the kingdom of heaven, most people go down the road of destruction to hell. Most people are wicked, a few people are righteous. And God has to try to protect the righteous, like Noah on the ark. Well, he punishes the wicked, like people drowning outside the ark. So the future looks like a lot of punishment for a lot of wickedness. Ever since World War II, people have just been getting wickeder and wickeder and wickeder. And don't let Satan say you can't be happy now because you got suffering in your life, or the world's falling apart. An economic collapse, or rioting, or apostasy, or World War III or something, or the Great Tribulation coming. If it's happening, God wants it to happen. He's in full control. World War I, God was in full control. World War II, God was in full control. World War III, he'll be in full control still. It's like when it says in the scriptures, when Satan comes in like a flood, God raises up a standard of power against him. It's like Moses at the Red Sea. You don't need to see the miracle until you need the miracle. So if I don't need the Red Sea to part to save me from an enemy chasing me, then I don't need to see that yet. If I do need to have the Red Sea parted for me to escape from an Egyptian enemy, then it'll happen. It's like a vision I had. It's just like asking God, what does the future look like, Jesus, and getting an answer back. So I had this vision. I was sitting beside Jesus on a park bench. I asked him the question, what does the future look like, Jesus? And he said to me, economic collapse, famine, rioting, apostasy, and World War III. And I was kind of frightened by that, or said, that doesn't sound so great a future. But then it turned into a vision of me dancing with Jesus around World War III, and there's people getting shot and tanks and bombs going off. And Jesus just says to me over dancing, don't let it bother you, I control it. And then I felt peace. So it's learning, if you're going to prepare for God's judgments on the wicked, which they're not going to be able to handle, and it's just going to destroy them, because God destroys the wicked. But he helps the righteous out when he's punishing the wicked, like the story of Noah. So we have to try to be like a happy Noah. We've got to be hearing God say to us what we need to do to get prepared for what's coming, and just do what he tells us to do. And trust in him fully to help us through it and bring good out of it for us and make us happy in it. Help us not be bothered by it. God has to punish wicked people. It's all through the Bible, and days of Noah, Sodom and Gomorrah. Israel with Babylon slavery. We're in sort of like a satanic world empire, Babylon, and they're trying to take us into slavery. But you could be like Daniel in slavery or Joseph in slavery. God's with you, helping you through it, bringing good out of it for you. So you got to believe that it's not just you going through all this stuff by yourself. You're doing it with Jesus. You're doing it with God, King of the universe. He's in control of the world inside of you. Like Paul said, it's no longer I that live, it's Christ who lives in me. So you've got to have that understanding from God. I am with you. I control the world. I got to punish the wicked. I want to help you out like Noah in the ark or whatever. So he's trying to teach us, get his bride prepared for what's coming.